Hello one and all, and welcome back to Campaign 10, Divine Fervor. I'm your host as always, Verenity Void, and this here is Part 8. So, looking back upon the world, and if you want to know what happened and why, Salento is so big, why is Muscat attacking Beluzero? Why is, why has Foix lost some land? Why has Li Yue grown so big? Watch the previous parts, I encourage it. All your answers are found in those previous parts. For now, though, I am going to move on to some more national ideas. We're going to read the third and fourth national ideas of Part 2. I owe it to them because they have been very involved in these past few parts. With the likes of Sura being actually completely annexed, Sura is no longer around, I feel like, Part 2 deserves some attention. So, the third national idea of Part 2 is the Wall People. The endearing nickname given to us by the Ukar, both the gold and silver tribes of theirs. It alludes to our long tradition of crafting mighty fortresses and our comprehensive defensive doctrines, equal to none, and all the more commonly adopted abroad as they are. A good Parmut knows how to fight in tight spaces, crawl along walls, hold down narrow halls, and our relatively lower stature makes us all the more suited for that line of work. Garrison size plus 75%, garrison army damage plus 100%. The fourth national idea is befriend the Shawlmen. Among the folks who live southernmore and south beyond the desolation, the Shawlmen, the Golden Ukat, are those that are both closest and most familiar to us. Our Coxers, they call themselves in their tongue, and they harbor a hatred for the riverfolk, of the Akti, almost as bitter and vengeful as ours. Their defensive craft, meanwhile, has always been rather lackluster on its own, so they'd often rely on mercenaries from our land to build and man their castles for them. This cooperation and shared hatred over time has seen quite the positive opinion of us be grown amidst their ranks, and conversely, a good opinion of them has been cultivated here. We ought to seek and deepen these bonds and cooperate closer in the future. Mercenary cost minus 15%, mercenary discipline plus 5%. So, Part 2, again, they're not getting any direct military buffs per se, the mercenary one can be debated, but they are heavily defensive. Anyways, we're going to keep going. Cornwall is under attack by Bosporus and Part 2. Part 2 wants Connacht, but I don't think Part 2 is really going to go sail over there. So, let's keep it going. Any other wars actually going on? Current wars. Yes, that's right. There is a war going on between Easy Land and Average Land. And I have a feeling that Fontaine turned Haiti is not going to do much to help there. Unfortunately, that is. I would love to see Fontaine make a landing and fight for their ally, because they didn't land when the Albanians were coming for them. But I don't know. Easy Land, they're only one tech behind, and Average Land, they don't have as many forces. They won a battle, but that's only one battle. It's not the war. Let's see. Discipline heavily favors Average Land. Morale favors Easy Land by quite a bit. Tactics favor the average landers. So Easy Land can definitely stay in the fight, but pound for pound, Average Land strikes back harder. And it should be noted, hey, Fontaine, they're landing forces, they're helping out. Finally, they're landing on the continent. The thing is, Fontaine is more than willing to, or has more than enough tech to go toe-to-toe with Easy LN. But is Easy LN gonna try to fight this? That's my question. I'm curious. As that war goes on, we have the Hurids going after the rest of Isfahan. It should be an easy sweep, so a little bit of a W for the Gurids. Excuse me. Japan, Vononeria, and Liyue going after Akechi still, and Takigawa is in this, but I think because Takigawa is in this, Japan is not going to be able to do much. Liyue, are you going to be able to fight back against Takigawa? Or is Takigawa going to even come over here? Yayusu is not in the war, but they have given access to Takigawa because Yayusu is allied to them. You should move this force, good sir. You should. Svendale is actually going after Albania. Really? You want to take out the United States of Albania? Huh. And it seems as though EasyLN, did they drive off? They did. EasyLN, while I was away looking at East Asia, they fought back effectively against Fontaine and drove them out. Well played. But they're losing over here. EasyLN's army is split up, so they can't take on the Mexicans. And Svendale, I think they're gonna have an easy time against the Albanians. Unfortunate as that is to say, because you know, they're so split up. So many provinces just splitting off. It's too much to handle. Really. The siege over here is taking 45 days for each tick, so it's rough goings. Oh, Fontaine pieced out, and they gave land to EasyLN. They really didn't want to be in this war anymore. Oh, no. It seems like it was just Average Land that pieced out entirely. Yeah, I think Average Land pieced out and was okay with giving land away from Fontaine to EasyLN. Average Land did not lose anything, though. Interesting. So, what can only amount to a W for the Central Americans. This is America going after the likes of 3488, trying to finish them off. But I mean, Canada, Svendale, I don't think you're gonna do much to the Serbians, if I'm completely honest. You may be on the same tech level, but the Serbians are just more numerous. It's as simple as that. What else do we got going on? Takigawa is actually hold on here. Yayusu is now going after the Evenkdour Federation, and Ihri is saying, I don't want any part of this. You're on your own. Now, the Evenks are actually one tech ahead of Yayusu. Yayusu has more quantity, though, and it is a 1v1. Yayusu, did you bite off more than you could chew? Takigawa has pieced out. Japan has pieced out. It's all quiet on the Eastern Front. Well, mostly quiet. You know what I mean. Okay. And Bosporus pieced out over here. It took a decent chunk of Cornwall's Anatolian possessions. But now, Bosporus is going after Anatolikon. Completely out of nowhere, in my opinion. Anatolikon is now on its own. Oh, I should also note, Cornwall lost this land to Bosporus, so Bosporus is very powerful right now. Anatolikon, they are powerful in their own right, but they are also fighting Morea. Morea is going to bring up some forces as well. I have to imagine Sangvisferi is just like folding their hands together, rubbing their hands together. It's like, yes, this is what you get in a Tolikon for punishing me earlier. Let's go ahead and see what the other wars are. Aktimachi is going after Patiguara, and it's successful. Patiguara is unable to fight back. I want to see what the difference is, because they're so far apart in tech level. Discipline, the Potiguarans actually have more discipline, but Aktimachi has more morale. So Potiguara just cannot handle it, and they also cannot handle the 3 military technology difference. What else do we got here? Pate against Kolotunal. Karnau's going after Kalchakui. Salento, Mzab, and Mondstadt are going after Savoy, and the Idrisids have joined Atsa. Idrisids, that's a losing alliance, if I do say so. So yeah, Savoy is going to get absolutely demolished, and the Idrisids are going to get absolutely demolished as well, because, oh, actually, Mondstadt can't cross over. Parmut is actually, they won. They actually landed, and they won against Cornwall. Holy shit. I completely didn't expect that. I mean, it's a small win, but it's a win. This is now the part to be conquered of Asme. Is that right here? Where is that? Ah, okay, it is right there. So this is like straight up against Duvacha, and Mzab has joined in. Duvacha's fighting Partout and Champagne, but I mean, you only need Partout for that war. Like, it's... You don't really need anything else. Partout can handle Duvacha on its own. But, you know, Champagne just, you know, for an extra little bit of spice, I guess. Kalchakui is, they're holding against Cornwall. They have a lot of forces and they can fight back. Unlike Potiguara, they are getting worn down by Aktimachi just dedicating a lot. And Svendale, they won against the Albanians. They took a little bit of the coast, but they're going to be losing to the Serbians. The Idrisis just need to hold this strait closed, and Mondstadt and Salento cannot get through. It is that simple. Hold the strait, you're golden. And then Mzab is going to get wrecked. And over here, Anatolikon, they're struggling. They're struggling. Bosporus, they're winning battles, and the army of Anatolikon, they're not able to coordinate. Maybe this is like one of the rare cases where the disjointed nation is actually beating up the less disjointed nation. It's kind of weird to see this, but there's a time and a place for all of it, I guess. What's the defensiveness of Anatolikon? It's middle of the road. Isfahan lost a decent bit of land, but they are still alive. Probably their economy is in tatters, I bet. Between, it's called Morea and Anatolikon, discipline is the same. Morale favors Morea, tactics about the same. Oh, Anatolikon, where did it all go wrong? You're an Orthodox nation. You couldn't ally Kiev? I would have thought you could. Oh God, Idrisids, what happened? You let them through. Oh no, the floodgates have opened, and it is. Oh, it's all over for the Idrisids. Well, I mean, they're co-belligerent, so they shouldn't lose that much, I think. But Savoy is. Whew. Konya, or not Konya, but Iconium is going down as well. Morea has that siege locked down, and Anatolikon is doing what they can to put a thorn in the side of Bosporus, but it's not enough. It's not enough. And Mzab is... They're getting saved. That's about that's the long and short of it. They are getting saved. Mogul is under siege. Partu is gonna win that war. So yeah, Bosporus victorious over here. Mondstadt victorious over here. Partu victorious. Who else? Who else victorious? Oh, the Cornish are coming through. Interesting. And Sulacet is... Okay, so Akhtemachi is going after Sulacet at the same time Sulacet is going after Akhtemachi's colonial nation. A little bit of a awkward thing here, but you go, Sulacet. Potiguara got bludgeoned completely. And we have it... oh... Average Land is going after Denmark's colony, and Svendale lost some more land. In fact, they're going to be losing more land. It's just brutality here in North America. The Serbians are taking no prisoners. Anything else going on? Toyotomi still colonizing Australia. Tell me, Hawaii, where are you colonizing? You are colonizing New Zealand. All right. Finally, they're getting some like bigger names, or not names, but like their name is getting bigger on a decent piece of land. You know what I mean. You know. Kalchukwi is now pushing back into the north, and the Cornish, they're not gonna enjoy that. Denmark can't defend against Average Land, and Svendale can't defend against America. Duvacha almost completely sieged down. The Idrisids have lost land to Mzab. Quite a bit of land. Well, actually only 2 provinces. But still, that's 2 provinces that my child has lost. Because Mzab fucking got an alliance with Salento. Ugh. Lebanon is now taking a piece of Cornwall away, and Bosporus has taken a huge piece out of Anatolikon. Oh my goodness. And Rhaetia is under attack. Mondstadt straight up going in for Intal. Intal is not the capital of Rhaetia, but it's right next to it. It's right next to the capital. And Rhaetia is only allied with Averton. Averton joined in? Yes, they did. So, if Averton can... they have troops ready. They do have some forces ready. But Mondstadt's fielding 120k. Can you defend against Mondstadt, Salento, and Brandenburg? I don't think you can. And just as Muscat was on top of the world with conquering land from Beluzero, Livonia comes through and is like, what do you think is going on here? Who do you think runs the show? Who do you think runs the show in this region? I think you're going to have to learn who runs the show, Muscat. And that is very much Livonia. Averton is... Did they just get defeated? No, they didn't. They still have a lot of forces. I'm just curious where they put them. Oh, it's right here. Okay. Averton does have their army and is stationed over there. Partu took a lot of Duvacha's land. And... oof. Rhaetia. It is not looking good. For as much damage as you did to Croatia and then Moravia, that's being done back to you. What other wars do... There's so many. Japan's going after Wu, but those are for islands. Pate is going after Kolotunad. Akechi and Takigawa are going after the Evenk. And I don't think the Evenk can... I don't think they can do much against a 2v1. They were exhausted when they fought... after they fought Yayusu. So this is lights out, unfortunately. I'm sorry to say, Mackie, but the Evenkdauer Federation, it was not meant to be. What other wars do we have? We know about that one. Mexico is going after EZLN. Really? Lebanon and Salento. And then Kabul's going after Mosi again. God, whenever I like do these long videos for recording, I just conjures up burps. Bremen and the papacy are also going after Cornwall, so yeah, once the AI overextends and they just take over so many pieces of land, it's hard for them not to lose wars. EZLN, they took a good fight there, but they're 2 military technologies behind. I have to imagine if Average Land gathers up their forces, like consolidates them and puts them in one army, EZLN cannot defeat them. That I'm imagining that is the case, but I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe the 2 military tech difference isn't that big of a deal. But in the past, I have seen it be a big deal. But Average Land, you gotta consolidate your forces. You gotta bring your army together. Otherwise, you're not gonna win these fights. It's that simple. It really is that simple. Ihrizen is even partitioning the Evenkdauer Federation. Akechi got done with them, and Ihri's like, hey, let me get in on that too. Good gods. And who is this over here? The papacy. Okay. But I mean, the papacy can't do much, honestly. They're in the very southern tip of Italy. And Rhaetia, as much as them and Averton are... Never mind. As much as Averton is trying to do stuff, it's not enough. Mondstadt is here, and they are saying, Rhaetia, I don't want you here anymore. I don't like your presence here. Prepare to die. Yeah. Mondstadt is becoming the premier power of Central Europe. I don't really think anyone rivals Mondstadt besides Livonia, kind of. And Livonia just completely reversed any sort of upwards trajectory Muscat had. Muscat straight up just turned that graph upside down. Like, this is where we're at now, I guess, because Livonia is OP. Anatolikon is... They have some separatists on their side, but I have to imagine Bosporus is going to put those separatists down. Bosporus is also allied with Akhtemachi, so a diplomatic development there, you know. And Rhaetia has been pieced out. They have lost a lot of alpine land. I don't think they're going to recover. They've also lost Istria, or Istrian. So now they're 2 Rhaetias in 2 halves. Man. More and more these power blocks shift around. And basically, if you're in Europe, if you're allied to Mondstadt, you're good. You're in the clear. If you're not allied to Mondstadt, you're not in the clear. That is what I am discerning. I was going over here. Koryak still slowly colonizing over here. Cascadia, or the Rocky Mountain Rangers, they're doing their own thing as well. Where are you calling? Okay. The Serbians, they just keep expanding. They just keep expanding. Fontaine has been drawn into this war, and EZLN, they're holding. Both sides are tiring each other out. Legitimately. The manpower is down. Oh, Foix is in this too. Foix is like they're seeing this battle brewing, or this war, and they want to take a piece of EZLN, but Foix isn't landing troops. I have to imagine if the Antilles were still around, Foix might actually land troops, but Fontaine said the Antilles are mine. Lebanon and Salento still going after Cornwall. Calchaquí trying to not finish off, I guess, but, you know, curtail any ambitions of Sulacet. Actimachi is thoroughly established in Brazilian land. Calchaquí, 50k, not bad. They're behind technologically, of course, but they have eliminated Cajamarca and they have pushed back the Cornish. Calchaquí is not doing too bad. I applaud their efforts. Salento is in the New World as well. How's the situation in Europe? I'm kind of surprised Akanland hasn't been declared by anyone from the outside. Like, I'm surprised the Idrisids haven't gone after this piece of land. It would be pretty easy. Kabu would not be called in because they are a tributary. And Semyon is going after Pate. Oh, no. Pate is going after Semyon. Really? Pate. Or is it Berbera? Where's Berbera? Yeah, well, I mean, regardless, this is directed at Semyon. And Pate, I think, maybe bit off a little bit more than they could chew. You're ahead by 1 military tech. But Semyon, they've got enough of a quantity to back up their invading forces over here. So, I don't know. I guess we'll see. I heard a pop. That was my elbow. Armenia is going after Shushtar, and Armenia is now allied to Anatolikon after Anatolikon got absolutely bludgeoned, decimated. Isfahan is no longer at war because, well, the Ghurids are here. The Ghurids are going to annex them, seemingly. The rebels have been taken care of for now. Bosporus, did you annex part of Moray? You did. You turned on your ally. What kind of diplomatic shenanigans are going on? Yeah, Foix is going after Izialand still. Ihri is still going after the Evenks. And the Evenks are pushing back. Wait, what? No, Ihri is actually being... So they are successful against the Evenk Dower Federation. However, Ihri is with Japan. And Japan has declared a war of reconquest for Sangju, which is right over here, I believe. Yeah, right here. So Japan, Shimabara turned to Japan, is going to want... or is going after Takigawa, Akechi, Toyotomi, and Yayusu. Basically all of the exiled Thunderdome members. Japan, you don't realize what you're getting into. These guys don't like you. And they are willing to fight tooth and nail to keep you back in fucking Japan. Like, Ihari is going to suffer a lot. Even though they just annexed the entirety of the Evenk Dower Federation, they might be forced to spit that out or something else. Because they're going to lose, and lose hard, to the combined might of Akechi, Takigawa, Yayusu, and Toyotomi. That's just what I'm seeing. A trade war. It might as well be just like, hey, I want to test my shit out. Let's go to war. Fight. Mondstadt, Salento, and Brandenburg are going after Foix, Livonia? Ho, 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 ho. This is a test run. And then, yeah, we saw that one. Kamai, Kutai, and Sufanburi are going after Vononeria and Cebu. So there is a little bit of a land war going on here, but if Vononeria can blockade this strait, no one's getting across. We shall see. Isfahan has been annexed as well. The Ghurids finally finished them off, but the Ghurids just have to watch out for Armenia. Armenia is powerful and they're up to date on technology. But how is Livonia gonna deal with Mondstadt? Because this is a trade war. There's no land gonna be taken, right? I'm just gonna look at Mondstadt. Yeah, they cannot trade, or they cannot take any provinces, but they can do a bunch of stuff over here. So we'll see. We shall see. Also, how is Protestantism doing? It's doing okay. No Reformed, obviously. No one took up Reformed, but Protestantism is entrenched. Anything in the New World for Protestantism? The Danish. But that's about it. And EZLN, they keep their territorial integrity. Can they keep it forever? I'm not sure, but it's looking like it's pretty good so far, and holy shit, Sulaset is routing Kalchakwi, or maybe it's Akhtimachi that is routing Kalchakwi, and Sulaset is just taking advantage of the situation. I'm not sure, but I think Kalchakwi should do something if they can. So Foix being fully occupied, we saw that coming. Livonia is getting ready to push into Brandenburg, and then from there, I have to imagine they're going to meet Mondstadt on the field of battle, because Brandenburg is being pushed back as well. Bremen is not involved at all, they're just observing. Man. And Salento is in this too, right? Yeah, Salento is in this. They have a moderate 60k, but in a war like this, that can be enough to push the scales, or tip the scales. Okay, let's see. Salento versus Livonia. Livonia has the discipline and the morale. Tactics are about the same. So Salento doesn't do much in these battles. How much manpower does Mondstadt have? They have a decent amount. Mondstadt versus Livonia. This is the big stats. The big boys. Discipline favors Livonia. Morale favors Mondstadt slightly. Tactics favor Livonia slightly. So pound for pound, Livonia hits harder. Whether or not Livonia is going to be able to put the pressure on Mondstadt to peace out, I'm not sure. God, you need to get rid of the alliance with Savoy, Idrisids. You need to. Anatolikon, nope. Bosporus is at war with Morea. This is, yeah, Bosporus is attacking Morea for Thessalia. Thessalia, however you want to pronounce it. And Kalchakwi, they're still being basically overrun. Ihri is still being attacked because of Japan's, I want to say, idiotic ambitions. Li Yue is attacking Ieyasu in the Pangasinan reconquest of Shaoxin. Okay, they're actually making headway. Pangasinan and Li Yue. Takigawa was sent back. I'm not sure if Japan can... No, they are. They are capitalizing. Japan is hearing that, hey, Takigawa's in trouble because of Li Yue in the south. Now is my time to strike in the Korean Peninsula and take the war goal. Smart thinking. Smart thinking. And Ihiri is putting up more of a fight than I thought. Akechi, Ieyasu, and Takigawa are not as coordinated as maybe I gave credit for. Interesting. I would have thought they would have been really coordinated, but maybe the daimyo or the Thunderdome members still hate each other after all this time. I'm gonna take a look at that battle there. I want to see how I want to see Japan's stats. Japan has absolutely great discipline. Has absolutely great morale and tactics. Akechi just, they can't match up in any sense. Look at that. Oh my goodness. And this is even with Shinto, you know. Shimabara turned Japan has Malankara. Tendai, I guess they got freed from some sort of subjugation. And Liyue and Pangasinan, they're gonna rout that force from Takigawa. They really are. Powell was expanding actually. They have allied Toyotomi. Good stuff, good stuff. Peace was had before they could even hear, before Livonia and before Mondstadt could meet. Unfortunate. And it was a trade war, so nothing's gonna happen. So part 2 is going after Cornwall for Dulyin. Is that for this right here? It is. And part 2, they have the navy, they have landed, and Cornwall just can't do much. Like, legitimately, they cannot do much of anything. Norway is only allied to Denmark. Denmark is allied to Norway and Averton. Bosporus, are you finally gonna fight Morea? I'm sure you can take out Morea. You just need to dedicate. And then interesting, Takigawa's mainland is now being threatened by Liyue and Pangasinan, and Takigawa's military is exhausted now. Japan has pieced out too. They got a little bit of the Korean land back. Not a lot, but a little bit. And I have to give credit where credit is due. Ihiri, they pulled more weight than I thought they were going to. You know, kudos to you, Ihiri. That, like, I seriously thought they were not gonna do much, and they were gonna be beat up by the Thunderdome members, but no, they were doing fine. And it seems like Pangasinan is gonna take this land back from Ieyasu. Like, I would not think that Pangasinan, even with Liyue's help, would be able to retake that land. But it came at the right time. Takigawa is really weak. They have no military to recover with. Ieyasu is becoming weaker, and so is Akechi. So yeah, what can they do? Liyue still has manpower a little bit. Pangasinan still has manpower. So yeah, goodbye Beijing. How's it going in the new world over here? Y'all are relaxing. Kalchakwi has been pushed back a little bit. Sulaset has retaken some of their land, but it's still a mess down here. Potiguara is still holding out some hope that they will bounce back at some point. Cornish Columbia is being attacked on all fronts. Anatolic conquest of Burgas. Oh, this is just Cornwall being ganged up on because, you know, they can't really do much, unfortunately. Whoa. Mondstadt is straight up going after Nevers, which is Champagne's land. And you know what? Champagne is allied with the papacy. They don't do anything. And Partout does something. So, Partout, you know, as long as these sieges take, it's not going to stop the wave of forces coming forth from Mondstadt and Salento. The military of Partout is basically not here because, you know, they're fighting over here. And because those military forces are off and away from the mainland, just, you know, Parthu's land is unprotected. As cool as those fortresses are, they can only hold out for so long. The siege ability from Mondstadt is there. Each siege tick is 43 days here. About 43 days, you know. It's not a horribly long time. If it was like 60, 70 days, then yeah, that's a huge amount of time. But if 40 to 45 days, it's not bad. It could be a whole lot worse. Bremen is going after Cornwall, okay. And Rhaetia is second Bremer conquest of Reusch. Was Rhaetia allied with Cornwall? I guess they were at some point. Bosporus is also okay, they pieced out, but did you gain anything? It does not seem like any land was exchanged between Morea and Bosporus. That was a messy and disjointed war. Tendai, hey, look at that. Tendai has bounced back, and so has Pangasinan. Nice. Takigawa took a big loss, and so did Yayusu. That is quite the indictment to the power of the former Thunderdome members. Just like this invasion of Parthu is an indictment of how defensive they can be. I think if they were Coptic, that would definitely help. Because that would add another, I think it's 20 or 30% defensiveness. It would add another like 10 to 15 days for each siege tick. Which, then it really starts to add up. But unfortunately, they got released as Catholics, so no extra defensiveness. Parthu is pieced out, and Champagne is thrown to the wolves and devoured. Cornwall is becoming fully sieged, and it is a partitioning of Cornwall's lands. I think we'll go to about 1635. Mzab is going across the Sahara ever so slowly. Duvachia is over by the Congo. Pate. They didn't lose any land to Semyon, but I think they're wary of ever attacking again. Satavahana, I just hope that you do well if you get involved in any wars. But like, just judging from like the military, what I'm seeing on the surface level, it's not looking like it. Mondstadt allied to Bosporus, Salento, and Brandenburg. Parthu allied with Salento and the Idrisids. Livonia, who are you allied with? Kiev and Averton. Interesting. Wow, Parthu took a lot. That's a lot of land that went to Parthu. Like Cornwall's capital as well, which is a nicely developed capital right here at Devon. Or well, it's adjacent to their capital. But that's a really nicely developed paper province. The start of printing as well. And then hey, the Cornwall itself, it's 20 development. That's not bad. That's pretty good. So yeah, Cornwall is just everyone's punching bag right now, unfortunately. But that's what you get for overextending yourself. And what is this? The Lebanese conquest of Iconium. Anatolikon, you're under attack. Man, I did not think Lebanon was going to actually go in. Because now Armenia is drawn in. And Armenia, they may be... Oh my god. Oh my god. I just noticed. The institution spread has been brutal on Armenia. And everyone else actually. Like, just take a look at this. Anatolikon, 18, 17, 18. Lebanon, 17, 16, 18. Okay, that's like, it's on par. It's on par. Armenia, 12, 14, 14. Oh my goodness. And also, we're going to stop in September of 1635. September of this year. But holy shit, Armenia, you're gonna be hard pressed to defend Anatolikon. Like, Iconium is about to go down. You better get your ass over. Do something. Defend your ally. Because your ally is petrified. What wars do we got going on? Nothing really. Anything that I missed? Foix is over here. They're chilling. They're colonizing slowly. Atlanta is free again, but for how long? I'm not sure. Salento is establishing their own colony. Cornish Columbia is now replaced with Akdemachi Columbia. And Calchaquí taking a little bit of a back seat for now. Potiguara is at war with Akdemachi Brazil wants to go after Potiguara. And I think that's it for now. East Asia is a little bit quiet for now. But let's keep going. Rhaetia is going to be pieced out soon enough too. Man, I thought Rhaetia had a chance to be like a huge power, but nope. And Iconium is down. Armenia is pressing into the Holy Land. And Lebanon, they're smashing through any resistance from Anatolikon. Any and all. And we will see the conclusion of this war in the next part. Because we do have to stop at 1635. Oof. Man, Europe is getting... Europe has been, like, consistently interesting no matter, like... Well, I mean, after the 1400s. From the 1500s to now, Europe has just been continuously been a source of intrigue. And so is East Asia. But, like, the Middle East, not really. The subcontinent, there's been barely any action here. Sindh hasn't done anything. Dundar, Jaunpur, Satavahana. The only kind of action has been Tranquebar going after Kola Thunad. And Kola Thunad has been exiled. Vononeria lost a war, but I mean, the majority of their homeland is still intact. They lost that to Kutai, this to Kamai, but I mean, they're still in this. They still got a lot of good land, and well, you're gonna need a bigger navy though. You're gonna need a bigger navy if you want to compete. But still, like Vononeria still is in this. They have Japan, they have Cebu, they have Toyotomi. Kamai, they have Kutai and Suphanburi. Sumuru has Dundar and Satavahana. So, it's, things are consistently developing, and I'm really happy with how much action there has been so far. Oh, man. My throat's a little dry, but I'm going to have my water here. I'm going to stay hydrated after this. Anyways, I think we can go to the leaderboard. So, let's see. In first place is Mondstadt. In second place is Livonia. In third place is America. In fourth place is Akdemachi. In fifth place is Partu. In sixth place is Bremen. In seventh place is Salento. In eighth place is Lebanon. In ninth place is Foix. In 10th place is Bosporus. In 11th place is Rhaetia. And in 12th place is Calchaquí. That'll be all for now. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next part.